Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jeff. Certainly appreciate you being with us this evening for our Illinois ACAC event. We have 6 institutions tonight. We have the University of Mississippi. We have University of Missouri. We have Rocky Mountain College of Art and Design, Bowling Green State University, American Academy of Art, and Ball State. As a participant and attending, you cannot use your microphone and you will not be on camera, but there is a question and answer button at the bottom of your screen. Feel free to ask questions to the various universities and institutions at any point. You don't have to wait for them to present. Please be specific in who you're asking unless you're asking a general question to everybody. That being said, let me stop talking and turn it over to the University of Mississippi to get us going.
My apologies. I am trying to get this for you all. Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Carmen Morris. I am the University of Mississippi, also known and lovingly known as Ole Miss. I am your Illinois admissions counselor, and I'm super excited to be here. I have Debbie McCain Wesley. She's actually an admissions counselor, and she's going to be in our chat box. So please feel free, if you all have any questions, to reach out to us at any time. We're super excited to be here. I first wanted to let you know that we are located in northern Mississippi. So we are the University of Mississippi, and we're located in northern Mississippi, that's well as Oxford, Mississippi. So we're super excited, and I just wanted to let you know, if you didn't know, we're known as the flagship university, simply meaning that we are the oldest university in the state of Mississippi. We have about 17,000 undergraduate students who represent all across the country, about 82 counties in the state of Mississippi, all 90 countries globally, as well as all 50 states in the United States. So I like to say that we have a vast range of students all over the United States and all over the country representing the University of Mississippi. We are, as you all can see, we have about 300 student organizations on campus. So I'm going to go back into our student ratio. So we have about 45 students to faculty ratio, which I love to say that being in the SEC, out of the 14 SEC schools, we do have about 1 to student ratio. So give me just 1 second. Out of all 14 SEC schools, we do have that private school feel, as well as we have the amenities and resources of a large institution. And that's one thing that I love about Ole Miss, is because out of all those schools, out of everything, that you don't feel just like another number. We do have all those amenities, as well as getting that private school feel. So I love that our students are able to run down to our professors, and they're able to still feel like they have the accessibility and the amenities of everything that they need. As you all see here, we do have 300 student organizations, which we do represent academically, professionally, as well as socially. So I do feel once our students are on campus, they have the opportunity to get everything that they need. You can find a interesting student group, whether it's led by you or by a faculty member. You can definitely find something to get involved in. Our students are doing wonderful things on campus. One thing that I love about one of our students, he actually created a GameStop game where all of our students do esports. And so that has grown over to 400 students, but it first led out with 10 students that first came out with the organization. We are, as I stated before, we're located in northern part of Mississippi, which is Oxford, Mississippi. It's about a 9-hour drive from Illinois, but one thing that I love, it's about either a 1-hour flight or a 4-hour flight, depending where you're coming from and who you're flying with. But we're in a lovely city called Oxford, Mississippi. So it's steeped in tradition, delicious food, and awesome experiences. We have about 24,000 residents, so you definitely get the field of students when they're on campus. Our population definitely grows. And so as you all go around downtown, there's so many things to do, so many different traditions, delicious foods, and awesome things to experience while you're here in the city. One thing that our students love when they're on the Grove or whether they're actually downtown in the square, there's so many different events, and our students love that when they have that opportunity to come into the state of Mississippi. One thing that I wanted to get into a little bit is financial aid and cost of attendance. So a lot of our students, we do have two different scholarships. We have our merit awards as well as our special programs and scholarship academic awards. So our merit awards, those are going to definitely be based on your academics, whether it's your GPA and your ACT. Currently, we are test optional, so we are not accepting test scores. However, for our special programs and scholarship application, we have extended our deadline to February 22nd, which this is where a lot of our students are going to, once you apply, which you would go to olemiss.edu/apply. Once you apply, you do have that instant access to putting in your special programs and scholarship application with your application number. And this is where the competitive scholarships, they do go out. Highly competitive, but all you need is an essay, a resume, and 2 recommendation letters. Once you put in this information, you have access to numerous scholarships, such as our Chinese and Arabic flagship program, as well as our Sally Barksdale Honors College program, and so many more opportunities where you can find those opportunities for extra financial need. With our merit awards, again, they are automatic. So as long as you have your test score on file, we definitely recommend to send us your scores. Although, again, we are test optional. We don't need a test score on file. All we need is your transcript sent to us by your high school counselor, and we will make sure that we get those applications reviewed. We are offering, once you do apply, you go to olemiss.edu apply, or you can go on the Common App, commonapp.org. And so it is a $60 application fee. Once you put in that application fee, you can definitely go ahead and submit everything. We do highly recommend that you go ahead and visit us. We do offer in-person visits as well as virtual visits, but it's Monday through Friday, and we hope to see you in Oxford.
Thanks, Carmen. Appreciate that. Next up, we have Rocky Mountain College of Art and Design.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Rocky Mountain College of Art and Design is also known as REMCAD. We are a premier art and design school that's located in Colorado, just west of downtown Denver, on a beautiful historic campus with rich history. We are established in 1963, and our student body was founded on something more than academic excellence. Creative minds take root here for the relentless student support, innovation in both teaching and mentoring, and operational excellence. Students come to REMCAD for an education, but they stay for the community. So much so, REMCAD Renew program is an open door for you to continue upgrading your skills for free after you graduate. That's right, I said it, for free. I'm Juliette O'Brell, and as an outreach admissions counselor lead working with REMCAD since 2016, you can email me with any questions. And as a creative myself, I like to teach, paint, draw, and cook. And I also like to draw myself as a skeleton chef. So from the list, you could read that REMCAD is a multidisciplinary education. These programs can lead to a variety of different creative careers, all designed to teach you the artistic skills of storytelling, sharpen your vision and voice, as well as the technical skills of art and design. The logos, which are located closer to the bottom of this slide, showcase how we are held to a high degree of accountability by all of our accrediting bodies, such as NASAD. If you're someone that's here tonight who would love to learn more about REMCAD, capture this QR code now. It will lead you to a Google form, and then an admissions counselor can reach you. Also, you may submit an application online without any fees before you submit any portfolio. At REMCAD, we do require an artistic portfolio with admissions. It should be filled with your own original artwork. Your counselors will set you up for success during what we call an admissions interview. We require you and your parent or support person to hear the details of REMCAD programs and want to hear from you and what you're looking for in an education. If it's a good fit, details are then provided for the next steps of filling out your application, providing your portfolio, statement of intent, FAFSA. We have a fantastic financial aid team who would walk you through the options. So why REMCAD? Well, small class sizes with hands-on instruction, strong foundational classes, and also a unique degree sequence are some of the reasons why. So the degree sequence is designed with the creative student in mind. Our students only are required to take 2 classes per 8 weeks so that they can have a deeper exploration into the creative projects. We all know that mental health is a premium right now, so I wanted to mention that. Also, other distinctions are we celebrate originality. So if you're a little weird, that's okay. We like it. Wonderful, exciting, interesting, real, and different is how we think real is spelled. So REMCAD, you're taught by real artists, designers, liberal arts professionals who have lived and worked in their respective industries. Artists are always lifelong learners and make some of the most wonderful teachers. Here you see Crisaso Apache, who teaches in the liberal arts department. You see his poem has been selected by Oprah for his selection this past year. And you know, a number of the courses spread across the humanities and liberal arts will help with the breadth and depth and critical thinking of the knowledge of the world around you, and that'll intersect with your creative work. So what do you want to say as an artist in this world? Paul Trani is quoted here on how important it was to have been taught by experts working in the field and the importance of a portfolio. He is a talented graphic designer who is a teacher at Adobe. He's teaching and promoting their software, and those are the people, or that's the company that provides Photoshop and Illustrator and all of these great design softwares. So it was a crazy year, and maybe some of you guys don't think you're that creative, or you may not understand or appreciate the value of art. But I have to say, some fires are still lit, ashes are burning, and artists and designers have been at the front lines, metaphorically, making a difference, rebuilding, and making all the visual communications that we've needed to get through these difficult times. They're doing that by repurposing materials, and they're also making a difference by getting involved. So from the start of the REMCAD experience, we encourage our students to use these resources to work together, not only to grow in their education, but also they can use these resources to network in the industries. We stand together, united in creativity and expression to succeed no matter what obstacles we face. That was something that Brent Fitch, the REMCAD president, recently said to our community, and I wanted to highlight that. If an obstacle you see, financial, there are a number of scholarship opportunities listed on remcad.edu. Some of them are automatic, some of them are academic, others are portfolio based. So keep practicing, embrace your failures, learn from your adversity. And here's that QR code again, along with my email, if you would like to capture that with our social media channels. You can follow us on Instagram. And I hope that with this, you've seen that how REMCAD students are staying for the community. And I hope that I've shared a few gems so you can help decide on your college choice. Thanks for your attention.
Thanks so much, Juliet. Next, we have Bowling Green State University.
All right. All right, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Drew Small, Regional Admissions Counselor here at Bowling Green State University. As a Regional Admissions Counselor, I'm actually regionally based right in Chicago, Illinois. I work with a lot of our out-of-state student population here at BGSU, but specifically the Chicagoland area and the entire state of Illinois. Now, for those that are not familiar, Bowling Green State University is located right in the northwest corner of Ohio, about 4 hours away from downtown Chicago. We are ranked from the top college towns in the United States. The two things that we're ranked highest on is affordability and safety. Downtown is a short walk away from the university. You get buy one get free burger nights, 35-cent wings, 50-cent tacos. It's basically the epitome of what you're looking for in terms of a college town. And so what Bowling Green is going to offer is that college experience for students, that college town experience. But we're conveniently located right off I-75 that runs from Michigan all the way down to Florida. And so even though we're in a college town setting, for students that are looking for research, internships, co-ops, it's very easy to get to some of these larger metropolitan areas like Columbus, Cleveland, or Cincinnati, which is about 3 hours south of Bowling Green State University. Now, our campus size is just over 20,000 students. So this has not been updated yet, but we're excited to announce that our total enrollment is at 20,000, which is the highest it's been in the past decade. And our retention rate is the highest it's ever been in university history. And both of these things are during the pandemic, which really focuses that BGSU is centered on making sure that it's that student experience that's the most important, but also giving that student a valuable degree after that 4 years. About 20% of our incoming class comes from a racially or ethnically diverse background. We have about 50 states represented on our campus, and then 70+ countries across the globe represented right here at Bowling Green State University. So like Ole Miss alluded to, you're able to get that big school feeling, that big school perspective. But inside the classroom, our average classroom size is 24 students, and our student to faculty ratio is 9:1. We have over 200 different academic programs that we have here at Bowling Green State University. We're the top teacher producer in the state of Ohio. And I am here to bust that myth that you can get your education degree in Ohio and come back to Illinois. We have one of the largest teacher job fairs in the Midwest right on our campus for our students. And I personally have had friends that have gone from Florida all the way to Alaska after getting their teaching degree at Bowling Green State University. We have one of the top college of businesses within the state of Ohio, ranking #1 specifically for accounting, #14 in the entire country for our supply chain management program. We have the only dual degree business program in the state of Ohio, where students can go to Bowling Green State University, spend a year in the University of Strasbourg, France, and get a European business management degree, as well as a degree from Bowling Green State University for no additional fee. So some really great things, as well as a brand new $45 million building on our campus for our College of Business students. We offer forensic sciences. We're one of the very few programs in the country that has an accreditation. We're one of 4 universities in the country to have an active crime lab on our campus for our students. Another kind of unique major is aviation. We are one of very few universities that actually has our airport on our campus. We get our students flying within the cockpit the very first week, the very first semester that they're on campus. So I always highlight that to students, whether you're interested in aviation or not, just because it really gives you that insight on that student engagement. If we can get our 17 to 18-year-old students in airplanes above campus within that very first semester, imagine what we're doing with architecture, our pre-med students, our students in our School of Fine Arts. And so that's really a huge stress for us, is making sure that our students are engaged inside the classroom. Now, getting involved is a huge component. We have over 400 student-run organizations. We're large in student-based or service learning on campus, community service. We have Greek life. About 15 to 20% of our student population is involved in Greek life. We do have Division I athletics. In the corner of my eye, I am actually watching us play Ball State. So kind of an exciting event that we have Ball State and Bowling Green talking today. We are playing basketball this evening, so I've kind of got my eye on that. But all of our athletic events are free to students on campus. So football, basketball, volleyball, men's Division I ice hockey, that's built into your tuition here at BGSU. Club sports, intramural sports are also offered on campus. Now, as you can see, we have our breakdown of our cost summary. And when you look at this, this is very comparable to what you're paying for within the state of Illinois, staying inside this, in this in-state. So we make Bowling Green State University, we make going out of state very affordable. We also have the Falcon tuition guarantee, which means what you pay your first year is what you'll pay in year 2, 3, and 4. We also have some very generous merit-based scholarships, some ranging from $1,000 to $8,000, and then also another $4,000 scholarship for out-of-state students. So we can really hammer down that price, $5,000 to up to $12,000, just based off your GPA and your test score and applying to Bowling Green State University. Now, when we talk about that value, Bowling Green State University is actually ranked #1 in the state of Ohio when it comes to value and affordability. And, that's a great thing that I tell my high school students as well as my families. But really, what does that mean? That means that when you're inside the classroom, when you're outside the classroom, building those connections professionally, socially, and academically, what all you're doing, all that hard work that's going on campus is really paying off in that future. We have the Falcon Internship Guarantee, which means that once you get to campus within that very first semester, whether you're a business student, education, or maybe undecided, you are going to start creating that resume, start writing that cover letter, doing those mock interviews, going to networking events with our local alumni to really help you understand what it takes to get that internship and then eventually that job. And really the proof is in the pudding. 97% of our students either graduated, had a job, are in graduate school, or started their own business within 6 months of graduation. And so that's something that we're really, really excited about here at Bowling Green State University, is providing those outcomes for our students once they walk across that graduation stage. Here is my contact information. Like I said, my name is Drew Small. I am the Regional Admissions Counselor working with all of our students coming from the state of Illinois, and really excited to start working with you, and go Falcons.
Thanks so much, Drew. Appreciate that very much. Next up, we have the American Academy of Art.
Hey guys, good evening. Thanks for joining us on this. I don't know where everyone's coming from, but I can tell you here in Chicago, I'm joining you from a very cold, snowy environment. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get right on over to my PowerPoint so we can go ahead and get started. So the American Academy of Art College is the school I'm representing this evening. The Academy has been in existence since 1923, which we'll get into more details about that in just a moment. But what I want you guys to think about while I'm presenting today is I want you to kind of think about some of the benefits that you can achieve by pursuing college and then possibly more specifically art school. So you definitely want to think about career direction, and when you're in school, you want to think about what these colleges and universities are providing for you in terms of service to help you get on that right path and make sure that your classes are in line with your career goals. As an artist specifically, something that the Academy is very passionate about is making sure that our students are gaining recognition for their skill and their talent. So we definitely get our students involved in numerous scholarship competitions, as well as just straight up competitions as a current student. And these are great resume builders, they're great portfolio builders, and many times they are monetary awards. So that's a cool thing for an art student as well. We do have a career services program at the Academy, so we are all about getting our students the skills that they need to be secure as a freelance artist, because if you are looking to pursue art, you probably should know pretty early on that many, many artists are freelance. So they have to not just have artistic ability, they have to know the business side of art. Otherwise, this will be very challenging. So we really prepare our students with the skills that they need to promote and market themselves. And then lastly, when I give this presentation, I usually have several artists as spotlights. For our time's sake today, that's not the case, but I will have a couple. But the people I'm showing you, one of the benefits of being a freelance artist is that independence of being able to make your own hours and work from home, which I know back in the day, working from home seemed like a luxury. Now we're all kind of doing it. But that is something to think about, because you do need to know the nature of the market, depending on what your major is going to be and what it is you're going to pursue in college. So you kind of have to take the moment out, to do a little research on these colleges and the careers that then follow. Now, what I want you guys to all know is that when we're talking about art, we're not just talking about something in a museum or a gallery. We're talking about the fact that art is actually everywhere. And the reason why I start here is because there are so many students that when they think of art, they just think of a painting in a museum or a sculpture in a gallery, and that can be very limiting, right? Because how many people are going to get jobs where their work is going to show up in a museum? Not a whole lot, right? I mean, it happens, but you do need to be aware of what your surroundings are, from billboards to movie posters to magazine covers, billboards, the clothing you wear, the house or the apartment that you live in, the list just goes on and on. We live in a very visual society. So from this point forward, take a moment to take a good look around you and connect what you're looking at to an actual career. Now, the Academy is local. It is downtown Chicago at Michigan and Van Buren. We are a small private school that typically had about, I'd say about 15 to 18 students. Current CDC restrictions are putting us at 10 students per studio, and we are on a hybrid schedule as well. But because we were a small school to begin with, it hasn't been like a huge sacrifice to make these changes. But also, you should know that when we poll our students, like we do a survey with them, and we ask them, like, what did you like about this school? So of course, it's something we do early on with our freshmen. And what they tell us is they like the intimate art community. They like the fact that they're in a small setting with like-minded people. So one of the advantages of going to an art school is that your fellow students are all artists. They're all majoring in art. As I mentioned, we've been around since 1923, so that's almost the 100-year mark. And if you take a little look-see here at some of these cool images, you may not have known that some of this is connected to the Academy, but we have alum like Hayden Semblum and Joyce Ballantyne who have created very influential illustrations for advertising campaigns. We have Alex Ross, who's a very famous graphic novel artist, and we also have artists working in the gaming industries. So as we speak, Lorraine McLeese actually works for Bungie in Seattle, and she works on both Halo and Destiny. And one fun fact that you may not know is that one of the original creators of Mortal Kombat attended the Academy. His name is John Tobias. He co-created that game with Ed Boon right here in Chicago. So Midway Games, which is now NetherRealm Studios, is local to the American Academy of Art College. A lot of folks don't know that. They think Mortal Kombat's created in China or Japan or LA, but right here in Chicago. So we're very proud of that. So what I want you guys to understand is that when you're thinking about video games, okay, for a lot of students, that is like a huge dream, but you need to understand that a lot of these jobs can be quite competitive, and you need to kind of know like what you need to do to get into these fields. So what I can tell you is that the majority of our students who work at companies like Bungie or Midway, as I've mentioned, now NetherRealm, they have backgrounds in illustration. So why I'm saying that is because I'm leading into my majors, and I want you to know that of our majors, our #1 program is illustration. Okay, so this is definitely a school that you would want to look at if you want to pursue an illustration program. So what I'm going to do right now is let me go ahead and break down some of these programs so that you're aware of some of the careers that are tied to these various majors. So my commercial art majors are both traditional and digital illustration, graphic design, which includes app and web design, 3D modeling and animation, art direction, and photography. And my fine art major is painting with a specialization in either oil or watercolor. So when we go into these majors, here you are seeing some various career possibilities for you as either a traditional or digital illustrator. And one thing that we tell students about illustration is that it really is like the art of the storytelling process, right? So you're basically visually telling a story through your illustration work. And as I had mentioned, we started off as a traditional illustration school, but now more and more students are being guided more towards the digital side of that. And we're really just kind of mirroring, you know, what's happening in the actual job market. And of course, as I've mentioned as well, this is our #1 program. When we talk about graphic design, here we see a few positions as well. One cool thing about the Academy is we also try and really know what happens in a realistic environment as a graphic designer. So basically, we make sure that students are meeting deadlines. Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
To interrupt. No, it's okay. I'm sorry to interrupt. We need to move on to the next university.
That's okay.
But students obviously feel free to ask questions in the Q&A section to the Art Academy as well as the other institutions. But now I want to turn it over to Ball State University.
Perfect, thank you. Lisa, you might need to stop sharing your screen. Here we go. Perfect. All right, perfect. Well, my name is Danny Schwenk. I'm an assistant director of admissions with Ball State. Thank you for tuning in and being with me tonight. To get us started, this is just a little overview of what I'm going to be talking about. I'm a big advocate for helping students find a school that's going to be a good fit for you. So when we talk about a school that's going to be a good fit, we typically want to hit 3 different categories. You want a school that's going to be a good academic fit. You want a school that's going to be able to meet your needs socially,
And you want a school that's going to be able to be a good financial fit, which we're going to talk about during the admissions information. But just a little overview about Ball State and who we are. We are considered a mid-sized public institution in the state of Indiana. We have about 22,000 total students on campus, but even though we are so big, we really try to keep that small school dynamic as much as possible. So the average class size is only about 23 students, 14-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So you may have heard this a little bit earlier, but you kind of get the campus life and the amenities of a big school while also getting to know your professors and your classmates. So it just makes for a pretty unique learning environment in that sense. We do offer Division I athletics in the MAC, the Mid-American Conference, with Bowling Green, and we're about an hour away from all the major cities in the state of Indiana. But the city of Muncie is pretty big in itself. It's got about 70,000 residents, and it has everything you could really imagine or anything you can want. I would consider it a little bit of a college town, but there's a pretty rich history there past the campus also. So back to that idea of finding a school that is a good fit. One of the ways that it could be a good academic fit is simply just by having the major that you're interested in. So at Ball State, we have about 120 majors altogether. Many of our programs have been ranked nationally across the board. So definitely take a look at the full list of majors that we offer on our website. But that also the academic fit also applies to making sure the school has the right approach to education. So at Ball State, we have very much a hands-on approach, meaning we try to get students those real world and hands-on experiences while you're still on campus and in the classroom. And we do that through these immersive learning projects. Immersive learning projects are where Ball State students will actually work with local companies and organizations to try to come up with some creative solutions that those companies and organizations might be facing. They will actually work under a faculty mentor, and they'll get a similar experience that they would get in an internship through these immersive learning projects. Those immersive learning projects have taken Ball State students overseas to the Olympic Games. They've taken students into classrooms in the Muncie community. And really what we're trying to do with this immersive learning project is get students active in their community while also earning college credit and getting those tangible experiences that you can bring with you past graduation. But as you can see, we have a lot of support systems on campus just to make sure students do finish and graduate on time, because once they do, as you can see, we have a 94 career placement rate into their career field. So like I said, you want to find a school that can meet your needs socially, because we don't want you just holed up in your residence hall for the next 4 years. We want you out and about and experiencing Ball State and Muncie for all that it has to offer. So we have about 400 different clubs and organizations on campus, everything from honor societies to cultural organizations to service organizations. The size of the institution allows us to bring some big name speakers, performances, musical artists to campus as well. Like I said, with our athletic events, being that we do have Division I athletics, all of our home games are free for students to attend. So there's a lot to do across the board. It's very rare that students are bored. And what we're really trying to do is just keep you active and really try to make Ball State that home away from home as much as possible. And I think you can really see that if you ever get the opportunity to visit campus, which I encourage you to do so, because that's going to be a great way to find a school that is that good fit for you. Like I said, the financial piece of finding a school that's a good fit is probably one of the most important for students. So you can see the full cost of attendance on the right-hand side of the screen. When you apply to Ball State, you're automatically considered for any scholarships that we offer through our office admissions. Our out-of-state student scholarships range from $11,000 to $16,000 per year over that 4 years. And about 4 to 5 students do receive some kind of financial aid on campus. So you can definitely cut down that cost of attendance a lot. One resource I would encourage you to check out is that scholarship calculator on our website. You can go type in your GPA and your test scores, and it will just give you, it will let you know what kind of scholarships you might be eligible for. It's a great resource to check out on your own, even as a junior or even a sophomore. It gives you an idea of what you can strive for going into your senior year. On the left-hand side of the screen, you'll see what you need to do to apply. All we need is the application on file, which you'll find through our office. We're not associated with the Common App, unfortunately. And then we will need an official transcript from your high school, but your SAT and ACT scores are optional. So they are not required for admission, or they are not required for scholarships either. It's fair. Oh, I'm sorry about that. It's fairly easy to qualify for those aids. And then if you want to include any additional materials, you can certainly do so right here. And then the last slide is just my contact information. This is my colleague, Matt Housley. We actually tag team the Chicago area together. So feel free to reach out to him or me, and I'd be happy to help you out. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Danny. The last institution this evening is the University of Missouri.
I'll go ahead and share my slides, and hopefully everyone can see them. 1 second. Alrighty, I hope everyone can see that okay. But good evening, everyone. My name is Maria Chukis, and I'm one of Mizzou's regional admissions representatives that is based here in the Chicagoland area. Behind the scenes, I do have Carly Stern, and she'll be watching out for that Q&A. So if you have any questions, feel free to throw those in there. But let's go ahead and get started talking about Mizzou. So we are located in Columbia, Missouri, which is smack dab in the middle of the state of Missouri, between St. Louis and Kansas City. From the Chicagoland area, it's about a 6.5-hour drive, or about a 1-hour flight from O'Hare straight into Columbia, Missouri. So really easy to navigate and to get to. We are bringing in a lot of different students, which I'll touch on in just a little bit, but the convenient thing about us is we are that quintessential college town. So you get a great balance of that college atmosphere, but you also have that awesome sense of community around our campus. And even if a student wants to kind of get a change of scenery from campus, all they have to do is walk across the street. So the photo that you see here is actually downtown Columbia, Missouri, which is right across the street from our lecture halls on campus. So if a student wants to go grab some food or maybe do some shopping or just explore downtown, all of that is walking distance away from campus, which I personally really appreciated. There's also tons of great art festivals, film festivals, music festivals, and also a really awesome nature scene too. So if you're into like hiking or biking or just climbing different trails, you'll see a lot of those options on campus as well. We have over 30,000 students who attend Mizzou, and those students are coming from all 50 states and over 120 countries. Illinois is actually our biggest out-of-state feeder, so you always do have that piece of home, even though you're away from home, and finding that sense of community on campus. We are both a land-grant and AAU institution, which is part of what brings students from all over to our campus, because you're getting the benefits of a research caliber institution at a land-grant price. So how do you get here? The application process begins on August 1st of a student's senior year. You can apply to us through the common application or just straight up on our website. There is a $55 application fee as well. So, the second step of that process will be you requesting that your high school send your official high school transcripts over to our Office of Admissions. And then the third step would be to send your standardized test scores to our office. So whether you take the ACT or SAT, it does not matter. We will always use that highest score, and you can continue to update us with those scores through the summer after your senior year, and we do super score. Definitely stay up to date on our admissions website for any updates regarding that admissions process for the upcoming year too. Now, when students get to campus, there are over 300 different degree programs to pick from. We're known for having the first school of journalism in the world, but other popular majors include things like business, engineering, psychology, biology, education, and so much more. You also see that we have a med school, a vet school, and a law school on our campus. So those are amazing resources that students have access to starting in those undergraduate years. Now, a great way to continue to build that community, whether it's across your academic program or just in general on campus, is to get involved. And so it's really easy for students to do so since we have over 600 clubs and organizations across campus. So whether you are looking for a faith-based organization, a cultural organization, academic, athletic, and more, you will definitely see it on campus. And if you don't, you can start your own. There are also over 20 Division I athletic teams on our campus. We compete in the SEC, so the Southeastern Conference. A major part of our degree programs that sets Mizzou apart is something called the Missouri method. So of course, we're in the Show Me State. We want to show you what you're doing. We want to show you that hands-on learning opportunity. And so that's built into all of our degree programs, meaning that our students are not just learning in the classroom, but they're taking that knowledge and applying it to the real world. You'll see some examples in these photos. One of them in that bottom right photo is some of our journalism students who are at KOMU. That is the only nationwide on a college campus with an NBC affiliate that is associated and run by our students. And so our students are the ones who are on air, who are broadcasting, editing, producing the segments and more, and they're getting that opportunity while they are in undergrad. You'll also see our education students, for example, who are in the classroom in the Columbia area and actually embracing that opportunity and learning about those different subjects and grade levels as well. Now, in terms of affordability, I do want to touch on those valuable aspects. So December 1st is our competitive scholarship deadline, meaning that by December 1st, you need to have applied to Mizzou and also submit those separate applications for those competitive scholarships. We also offer automatic scholarships. So we are on a rolling admissions basis. As you apply to Mizzou and as you get admitted to Mizzou, you will get considered for those automatic awards. We say that you'll be considered through the summer after your senior year because you can continue to send us those test scores through the summer after your senior year. So if those scores increase, feel free to send those to us so that we can continue to reevaluate you based on that highest score that you have. Another opportunity for out-of-state students to make Mizzou more affordable is that in-state tuition opportunity through the Missouri residency process. So it is a 5-step process. Most students complete it their freshman year and then receive in-state tuition for those following years. But I would love for you all to be able to see all of this for yourself. We are offering in-person visits. So if you'd like to visit us on campus, you are more than welcome to schedule a visit with us where you'll have an overview presentation and a walking tour of campus. If you can't make it to campus just yet, or if you just want a little bit more information about Mizzou, you can take advantage of our virtual opportunities through our virtual overviews, live campus tours, talks with current students, and even one-on-one appointments with admissions reps like myself or your academic unit of interest. And last but not least, we are always here to help. So these are the 3 admissions representatives who are based in the Chicagoland area. We also have another one who just covers Central and Southern Illinois as well. Don't hesitate to reach out to us if we can be of any assistance. And thank you all so much for tuning in, and go Tigers.
Thanks so much. Appreciate that. So I want to quickly invite all of the admission representatives back online here. And before we sign off this evening, I've asked them to go through and mention what is their favorite event or tradition on their campus. So we will, I guess, go in order of our presentation. So Ole Miss, you will start us off here.
All right. So here at the University of Mississippi, also known as Ole Miss, a favorite tradition is definitely gathering in 10 acres here at the Grove. So 10 acres of land where family, fans, and students and alums were gathering, cheering on our football team as they enter into the stadium. So it's amazing. So you definitely have to have that experience if you ever get to campus.
Very fun, very fun. Rocky Mountain College of Art and Design. What would you say for yours, Juliet?
Yeah, thanks. I'd say ours would be the design slams. They have a very intense, impactful couple of hours where they have to create a design based on a prompt, and then the audience votes. So it's kind of like if you've ever seen those gaming industries in Vegas with the headphones and people are cheering the designers on. It's pretty fun.
Very fun, very fun. Bowling Green State University. Drew, what do you got for us?
So as you can tell, we are very passionate about our colors. So our orange and brown are very prominent across our campus. We're very proud of that. Also, the Cleveland Browns are orange and brown because of Bowling Green. But this actually happened last weekend. Our mascot are the Falcons, and every year 4 students, 2 males and 2 females, are selected to be Freddie and Frida Falcon. And then at the end of the year, we do unmasking or beheading. Don't worry, it's just the mask. Where they invite all their friends, their family to a sporting event. Obviously, this year we did it virtual, but those students are secret for an entire year until they get their mask taken off at one of these events. And so it's a yearly tradition. And then we also have something called Sick, where it's actually a 4-year commitment where you're completely secret for all 4 years. And then at the end of your senior year, you take your mask off. And so a lot of great traditions, for sports, but also that school spirit.
Very fun. Lisa, what about the American Academy of Art?
So at the Academy, we have not so much tradition, but we have a couple of events I'd like to mention. We have a summer studio program that we typically run, and it's an opportunity for students to take workshops during the day. But then one of the opportunities with summer studio is an overnight program for a week where they stay in our dorm. And then we also do activities with them in the evening. So we kind of hang out with the kids like all day long, and we give them this opportunity to see what it would be like to actually live in the city and maybe even stay in our dorm. So on the very last night before they go home, we all hang out in the dorm on their little lounge floor, and everyone kind of puts their jammies on or like just their sweats and gets all comfy. And we kind of sit in a circle and everyone like shows their artwork that they've been creating, whether it was from our summer studio or from high school. We have cookies and milk, and kind of like that last little opportunity for everybody to bond, before they go back to their respective cities. A lot of people come from out of state to do this. And then the other cool thing is we have something called a lunchtime lecture. It used to be held in our gallery during lunch, but for COVID reasons, it's all on Zoom now. But, we're really big as, artists and creatives and trying to see the good, even in the bad, right? So one of the cool things is that now that we're on Zoom, we're able to bring in artists and curators from around the world. So one of our photography teachers had a connection to a curator at the Victoria and Albert Museum. So a couple of weeks ago, this curator from the V&A came in and did a whole spiel about the Tim Walker photography exhibit. So it was an opportunity we probably never would have done if this whole Zoom thing didn't come into play. So those are 2 events that I personally very much enjoy as an employee of the school.
Very fun, very fun. Danny, what about Ball State?
So every Saturday night we have what is called late night, which is a big themed party that goes on in our student center, which students can go swipe their student ID. They get free food and drinks for the night. And like I said, there's always a theme associated with it. So I went to like an inflatable theme late night where they had 9 different moon bounces and bounce houses just in our student center and outside the student center, ready for students just to hop on and have fun. And they have that event every Saturday. So it's every Saturday is a different theme, and it's very fun. It's very lively. But at the end of the year, they also host a late night carnival. And that carnival that they bring to campus is almost as big as like a state fair. It's huge, it's massive, and they offer like everything that you could think of. And it's a lot of fun.
Very fun. All right, Mizzou, wrap us up. Give us something good from Columbia.
Well, I would have to say homecoming because we are home to the homecoming tradition. So we go with the football game, with parades, with service events. We are home to one of the nation's largest student-run blood drives. You'll see the whole town is painted in black and gold, and I literally mean that because our student organizations paint our downtown storefront windows in black and gold to kind of represent their organizations and just show that school spirit and pride. So we don't have Spirit Week, we've got Spirit Month. Come on down to homecoming in Columbia, Missouri, because it is a fun, fun time.
Very fun. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us this evening. Certainly want to thank our 6 institutions and their representatives for giving up their time this evening as well. For those that were in attendance, this has been recorded. You will get a copy of that to review with loved ones as well as other family and friends. There is a quick survey at the end. Would appreciate you taking that. On behalf of StriveScan, again, my name is Jeff, and thanks for joining us. Have a great evening. Everybody stay safe. Bye-bye.